Hi everyone, this is Mentor Tuba. I'm back with a new PMP scenario. This scenario is related to hybrid project and it's a long one, so please bear with me. I'm going to quickly read it out and then we are going to discuss. So it says that a project manager is leading a hybrid product development project with distributed stakeholders. Midway through the development, several influential stakeholders demand additional features that significantly expand the product scope. The sponsor privately tells the project manager to accommodate the request quietly to avoid conflict. The team warns that integrating these features will jeopardize the deadlines and introduce architectural instability. What should the project manager do? Option A, add the new features into the upcoming iterations to preserve the stakeholder relationship. Option B, escalate to the steering committee and request formal approval for a scope change. Option C, direct the team to explore creative ways to deliver the new features without altering the baseline. And option D, ask the product owner to deprioritize lower value work so the team can absorb the changes. So before I talk about the option choices, I would like to break down this scenario, this long scenario, into three parts. So the scenario is about hybrid product development, where the stakeholders are distributed, like most likely geographically distributed, right? And while the development was ongoing, some influential or key stakeholders demanded new scope changes or new scope request, right? So that was the point number one, that some key stakeholders demanded additional features, which is okay. I mean, change can anytime be requested, even in the hybrid project or in the traditional projects as well. So this is a hybrid project. So they demanded some features, which is fine. So that's the first part. The second part and the most crucial part is of this scenario is that the sponsor of the project, who is the most important stakeholder in any initiative and the accountable person for the success and for the financial matters, he showed some non-professional and unethical conduct. He privately asked the project manager to just approve the changes and accommodate the request quietly without making any noise and without involving anybody to avoid the conflict. So this is a clear breach of PMI Code of Ethic and Professional Conduct, right? I'm going to talk about it. So that's the second point. And the third important point of this question is with this change set, team is not happy. So when project manager circle back to the team and discuss the changes with the team clearly said that we are not going to own these changes because these changes after integration with the current features will create or may create architectural instability as well as for the upcoming work, the deadlines and the completion date is going to be jeopardized. Right? So they are not happy about it. Like this way, doing it this way, they are not happy about it. So you don't have the team's buy-in as well, even if you want to violate the PMI code of ethics. Right? So A, some changes coming from the influential stakeholders. B, a sponsor is pushing you, pressurizing you to do it this way or the that way, or probably he's showing this attitude of my way or skyway. And third, you don't have the buy-in from the team for these changes. Right? Now, what you should be doing, and this is for a hybrid project. So, of course, we need to answer based on the option choices available with us and keeping the PMI mindset in mind. Starting with option A, add the new features into the upcoming iterations to preserve the stakeholder relationships. Maybe in the real world, with this kind of pressure which is created in the scenario, as a project manager, you would find yourself quite helpless and you probably would like to go to the option A choice. But as per the best practices, option A is the worst thing to do. So maybe someone would say that a sponsor is usually your boss, at least within the project hierarchy. So as a project manager, can you say no to your boss? No, you don't need to be saying no or yes to the boss or to any other influential stakeholder. You just tell them that this is the process. which has been approved from you, which has been coming with your acknowledgement and validation. I'm just following the process. If you want me to change the process, first you make the changes to the process, and then I'm going to go about it your way. So this is the right way of going about it. And as per the correct process or the recommended process, just saying yes to everything what your sponsor or your other stakeholders, senior stakeholders say is not recommended, because this is clearly against the ethical as well as the professional conduct, and the against it is against the concept of leadership as well. Right? So A is out. Right? Without the collaboration and involvement of team and other stakeholders and subject matter expert and everybody else, if you just are going to say yes and you just say that let's avoid the conflict by adding whatever they want and in whatever way they want, and just create the unnecessary pressure on the team, then this may happen in the real world, but this is not the best way of going about it as per the best practices. Option B, escalate to the steering committee and request formal approval for a scope change. Now, this is a situation which clearly is beyond the authority level of project manager. Why? Because he is being pressurized by someone who is the all in all in the project, which is sponsor. So if and sponsor is supposed to be supporting project manager in whatever possible capacity. And of course, if the project manager is not getting the support from the sponsor and he has no other way out, then the only option he is left with is to go to the steering committee, which is actually created for a variety of reasons. And one reason is when project manager or the project team feels that some key stakeholders or influential stakeholders are not engaged or are not like they are not able to engage them within their authority level and within their remit of delegation rights, then they should be going to the steering committee and they should be discussing that matter to the steering committee, and they should be leaving the matter to the steering committee for the best resolution, right? Which is termed as escalation. In the risk management language, we call it escalation. Escalating a risk to somebody who is higher in authority and is a best stakeholder to deal that matter. So as this matter is about scope changes, new features, and like those are coming your way in a very inappropriate manner, the best thing to do is to go to the steering committee and present the matter in front of them and request a formal approval. And once the approval is granted, then of course the project manager is going to come back and do the necessary change management process, like the regular change management process of change accommodation and updating the baselines and artifacts, and then informing the team, and then going about it using the managed change process. Now, option C. So B is actually the right thing to do as per the process. And why option C and option D are incorrect? And option B is also correct for the reason that this is the only option out of these four choices where the sponsor could be dealt in the right way, because it's only the steering committee who could convince and deal the sponsor. If we talk about the authority level, a project manager does not have that level of authority where he could convince him the right way. Rather, the sponsor would try to convince the project manager that why he is correct in his capacity. So in that capacity as well, option B is the right thing to do, where steering committee is going to do everything necessary to convince the sponsor that why this way which he is actually adopting is incorrect. Option C, direct the team to explore creative ways to deliver the new features without altering the baseline. First of all, the features are significant, is clearly stated in the scenario, and without making the change to the baseline. Why baseline? We have been talking about baseline because it's a hybrid project, and usually in the hybrid project, we do have baseline and we do have backlogs and release plans as well. So expecting the team to do something to accommodate those changes without altering the baseline is like an insane idea, right? And expecting them to explore their creative ways to just adjust whatever is possible to accommodate the change set is definitely 100% going to compromise the quality where they are already uh, they are already uh, making this claim that integrating these features is going to jeopardize the product quality. They're clearly mentioning it. So if you expect them, maybe they are going to like go about it, do something about it, but that definitely is not going to be on them because they are not showing their buy-in towards this approach. So C again could be an idea in the real world, could result or could produce the superficial results. Maybe your UAT is going to be approved, maybe your initial approvals could be done, but in the long term or as per the concept of sustainability, this code is going to definitely break down. So C is also a no. Option B, ask the product owner to deprioritize lower value work so the team can absorb the changes. Now, this could be a good idea that you expect your product owner to do some shuffling and reprioritization so that the new features could be added and some less priority features could be taken out, or maybe they are just pushed back as could have or probably if time permits, we are going to come back to that. So on the look of it, D is also a good idea. If you do not want to escalate, D could be a possible solution. However, I'm going to tell you that why D is not a better idea than B in this scenario, because D is only going to talk about the upcoming work, right? D is not going to take care of the work which has been done and dusted by the team in the previous releases and the previous sprint, because this scenario is talking about the upcoming work and as well as the work that has been done already and the damage or the disaster that this change set could bring if it is not going to be done the right way, because integrating these features will may jeopardize the architectural stability, right? This is clearly stated in the question. So D, even if it is done, it's only going to take care of the upcoming work. But what about the integration of the newly developed features and their impact on the already developed features in the past? D is not talking about that because that work has been done, right? So D is a partial solution and not the best solution. So even if D is going to be done, the value delivery is going to be compromised. And team is not going to take the buy-in of that because team clearly has said that we have developed quite some features and those are going to be at stake if you are going to include this feature set without doing proper impact analysis and without doing proper change management process. So B is the right thing to do. That something where the team support is not there and as a project manager, you are completely on your own. The best thing to do is to just move that or to escalate that to the next level in the hierarchy, which is in this case a steering committee and the members who has that sense, who could understand that how this change should be taken care of. Right? So B is the right thing to do. I hope you like this explanation. If you have any comment, follow-up questions, feel free to share that in the comment area. I will be back very soon with a new PMP scenario. Till then, take care. Goodbye.